Ho! What is up, you guys? My name is Blitzversion1, and welcome back to Reaction Time. Installment 41. The year 2022 is right now rolling on. It is a fantastical January. Everyone's had their fill of merriment and enjoyment from going over from 2021 to 2022. Hopefully, this year will be better than it has been for the past couple of years, so we shall see. Anyway. We're going to another techie nerdy video, because I'm a nerd, I'm a techie kind of guy and stuff like that, obviously. This is the first full dive Nervegear is here from Oculus Quest 2 update. I'm curious, because virtual reality, if you guys haven't seen some of the stuff on my channel, I do have an Oculus Rift. I don't have the Quest, but I do have a Rift. And I've done several things with the Rift on the channel and stuff like that. It's actually turned on right now. What? That's weird. Anyway. I want to get back to doing some VR stuff, especially like finishing up some other cool stuff that I've been doing, getting back into The Walking Dead, all that good stuff, getting back into all those games. But I don't know, it's such a pain in the hassle to set all that up, because I have to set up my lav mic, I have to set the tripod off in the other room. It's not as soundproof. And on top of that, since I'm overweight and I am technically classified as overweight, I'm a pretty chonky type of guy, you guys have noticed, but I don't care. It doesn't bother me to being a little overweight. And since I have a full-time job and 2 kids and a wife, I have an excuse to eat my food. Anyway, but that's not why I'm here. We're here for some techie stuff. So without further ado, take it away. Relity? Relity. I don't know. Let's go. Relity. VR. Press start.
Welcome to Relity Recap for your weekly dose of VR and AR news. If you're new to this channel, then hit that subscribe button. And if you don't want to miss any of the latest and greatest news, then hit that subscribe button even harder. Now, with that said, let's get right into the news. In this week's crazy
I read about that.
We have news ranging from the Quest 2 getting a new update, to Facebook making their own AR glasses, to a new competitor to the Oculus Quest 2. But probably the craziest news we had was the announcement of a half-dive VR headset, which is almost exactly the same and is the first step to a full-dive Nervegear headset. So let's dive right into it. The company called Diver X announced their new upcoming VR product that is called the Half-Dive VR headset. And just like the name implies, it is very close to the full dive technology. Now we got a lot of details about this upcoming headset. The first one being that this headset is meant to be used while laying down on your bed, just as we see in, for example, Sword Art Online. Now, up until now, most general VR headsets were what we call VR HMDs. Now this stands for Virtual Reality Head-Mounted Displays. Now this means that the normal VR headsets need to use the user's head to have it attached to their face. Now, an important thing of these headsets is that a lot of companies try to make the smallest and most lightweight headsets that are possible, and this is to increase the comfort of the VR user. However, this always led to a lot of trade-offs, because if you wanted more processing power or better hardware, this would also mean it would increase the size and the weight of the product, which would make it more uncomfortable. However, when you're laying down on your bed, it doesn't matter how big the headset is or how much it weighs. And because of that, this new half-dive VR headset can have so many crazy cool technology components in there without needing the trade-off of the weight and size. And these are functions that most normal VR users always wanted but could not implement in their headsets. Now, as you can see in this picture, the unit itself consists of a headset that is mounted to a base. And this whole VR unit can then be put on top of a bed or a couch and then be used by just laying down. But the craziest part is what this VR headset is capable of doing. The first one being that it has a 3D sound system built into it. This means that by using multiple speakers, you will be able to hear the sound from every single direction. This makes it so much more immersive and very similar to what we hear in real life. On top of that, it's rocking a crazy lens setup that makes use of 10 aspherical lenses that tries to solve the problem of a small field of view and increase it to a total of 134 degrees. Now this is 34% more than most of the competitors, and it also has some crazy fans built into it that will give you wind feedback to make your immersive VR experience even more realistic. But at the same time, it could also cool down the user as well. But it doesn't stop there. Now the controllers that they use are also very interesting. As noted in the diagram, they're gonna be using force feedback modules that will let you feel and touch the objects in a VR space. And it could be so precise as even feeling the cut of a sword or feeling friction in general. And they want to provide this by using haptic feedback. Now a way of achieving this is by, for example, what we see in a lot of these high-end VR gloves that could really make you feel like you're in a virtual reality world and where you can touch and sense everything around you. Now, of course, the next question would be, how would you actually move your VR character if you're laying down on your bed? And they also found a solution for this, where they used what they call foot controllers. Now these controllers both track and sense your movement of your feet. And by tilting your feet to one direction or moving forward and backward with them, you could actually move your character in virtual reality as well. They even said that this headset will be modular to add more crazy features in the future, like force feedback modules, sensory feedback modules, and even wireless communication. Now all of this together really is a headset that is the first step to a full dive VR future.
Of
course, there
so
are many
ready for
questions
that.
still of how this product will actually work, but I think the name half dive is very well chosen. And it's interesting to see that there's VR companies that try to take a complete different approach from what the rest of the market is doing. And in November this year, we will get more details about the headsets and its function as well. And it's crazy to see a VR product like this after we just talked about it in the previous video. And of course, if you haven't watched that, make sure you check that out as well after this video. I'll leave a link in the top right corner. And the next crazy story was that the Oculus Quest Pro was actually mentioned in the latest software update. And it's gonna pack some crazy features.
I actually do want to pinpoint out that stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff popping up for the Oculus Quest, the Quest and stuff. As far as I know, they're not making anything for the Rifts anymore. The Rift S is done, so they're the Quest and all the other new stuff that's coming out. So if I need any parts for mine, if mine decides to take a crap, I have to freaking buy another one, and that pisses me off. But technically, I wanted the Vive because I wanted the Vive controllers and to be able to play Half-Life Alyx with. I do have Half-Life Alyx. I am planning on getting that out eventually. It's just the fact that first time I tried to run it, it crashed, and I just haven't had a chance to try it again. But I do want to play it. Also, the fact that half dive is basically you're still awake while you're playing. A full dive, it goes into your subconscious brain, which will completely negate like motion sickness and stuff. I have a feeling that the first run of stuff for the half dive is probably going to have a lot of motion sick deal because your body is literally feeling that it's laying down even though it's feeling all the other sensations of moving around, which is another thing, another drawback of virtual reality, as you guys have seen in one of my playthroughs and stuff like that. I actually had to take a break in the middle of it because I started feeling queasy because of all the physics. I mean, as cool as it is, I love VR. It is the future of gaming, and it is the future of what I want to do. I don't even care if it's something like Sword Art, and I end up getting trapped in a death game or something like that. I will destroy my enemies. But that would just be freaking amazing. But back to the video.
Now, the Facebook CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, was already talking about the idea of a Quest Pro headset all the way back in May. But with the last Oculus Quest 2 update, which was called the V32 update, people have been finding some crazy things in the code of this update. And these hint to a Quest Pro actually being in the making, but also what features it will have. Now, the first thing they found in this code was the following. Quest Pro estimates your hand size and how they move, so you use your hands instead of your controllers in VR. Now, this confirmed the name of the Quest Pro, and it also means that hand tracking will be improved in this headset. But one of the other crazy things they found is that the Quest Pro will also be rocking eye tracking sensors. And it said, follow the target with your gaze. Eye calibration failed or eye movements estimation complete. Now, this could mean that eye tracking sensors will be built into the Quest Pro headset. And as many of you know, this is a real next generation VR feature that a lot of us have been waiting for. But besides just eye tracking, they also found lines in the code talking about facial tracking as well. Examples of this were copy the different expressions, smile naturally, show an angry expression, frown naturally, and show a surprised expression until the calibration is complete. Now, this all indicates that the Quest Pro will also be able to track your facial expressions. And this is especially good for social VR.
Yeah, social VR stuff like VR chat and stuff like that, because I've seen a lot of stuff with some Vives and other stuff like that where it has the mount of tracks your mouth movement and stuff like that to where they can move and make silly sounds, and the eye tracking. Like, they started beta testing a lot of that stuff like I think 2 years ago, like back in 2020 or 2019. I can't remember, with the Tobii eye tracker. I don't remember when that actually came out, but that was tracking eyes. So that was their way of trying to figure out how to do tracking eyes and stuff like that from cameras, which is what they're implementing here. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Interactions. But the reason why these lines of code are so interesting is because there's a lot of speculation that the Oculus Quest Pro might be announced soon. And that is because of the Facebook Connect event that will take place on the 28th of October. Now, on these events, there will be talks about new headsets and projects. And we might be seeing the Oculus Quest Pro there this year as well. And talking about the Oculus Quest is that their next big update is rolling out and is improving things like AirLink and visual quality. Now, Oculus has been pumping out some VR updates recently, and this one is called the V33 update. And in this update, there will be several smaller improvements. Now, the first one being that it will have an update in the AirLink feature for better visual quality and improved performance. Now, recently it became possible for your Quest 2 to be wirelessly connected to your computer, and this was called the AirLink feature. However, this link feature actually compresses the image quality to allow the Quest to display the PC VR content. But with this V33 update, it will show a significant reduction in this effect, and that would be very welcome, so you can get higher quality PC VR content to your Quest 2. Now, other small improvements are that it will allow you to clear your history from the gardening settings to help if you have any tracking issues. And it will also have improved security when you're using your Oculus browser. Now, compared to the previous big updates, this one is a bit of a smaller scale. And of course, speculation has it that this is because of the big upcoming event, like we talked about before. Now, before we continue and talking about an upgrade for your VR connection, is a quick word from a company that made this video possible. If you are using your Quest 2 wirelessly, you might be running into some issues with your connection if you have to share your Wi-Fi with multiple people. Then you might want to check out the gaming bridge from Nexus Link, because this will allow you to have a direct connection with your router, and by doing so, reducing your lag and latency drastically. If you're interested, I will leave a link in the description below. And you can use the code Relity15 for 15% off of your total purchase. Now let's get right back into it.
Bridge.
And in the
Really? Wireless, huh?
Next big story is that Facebook just launched their own AR glasses in a collaboration with Ray-Ban for $300. And it is a hybrid between the Snap spectacles we saw before and the Boss frames. Now, we know that Facebook has been working on their own AR glasses, and we now finally saw their release of their first generation of smart glasses. Now, for this, Facebook partnered up with Ray-Ban to create the glasses that they named Stories. Now, these are not exactly the AR glasses we were thinking of, but the features that it does include is a dual 5-megapixel camera that lets you capture stereoscopic video and still images. Now, on top of that, it also includes a microphone and integrated speaker to stream both audio over Bluetooth, which lets you listen to music and podcasts, but also take calls, and in addition to a voice recognition support. However, it doesn't include any screens into the glasses itself. Instead, it is basically the combination of what we see in Snapchat's own Snap Spectacles, which has cameras built into them, and the Boss frames, which has the Bluetooth speakers integrated into them. Now combine these together, and that is when you get the Ray-Ban Stories from Facebook. But the interesting part is when Mark Zuckerberg talked about these AR glasses on stage and mentioned that this is the first step towards their look on AR glasses, which is more something we see in things like Microsoft HoloLens or the Magic Leap AR glasses. But it is also important to note that these spectacles can also have your prescription lenses made into them, which basically makes them a crazy gadget of AR glasses. And you can already buy them right now for $300. But it turned out that Facebook wasn't the only one working on smart glasses. And not long after Facebook's announcement, the Chinese tech giant called Xiaomi unveiled their first pair of smart glasses themselves. And compared to Facebook, they did include a micro LED display. Now, just like the Ray-Ban Stories from Facebook, the Xiaomi smart glasses also include a 5-megapixel camera and Bluetooth speakers. But on top of that, it uses this micro LED display to serve up information such as notifications, turn-by-turn directions, the time, and real text and photo translation. Now, the way Xiaomi pictures this is that these AR glasses, when getting more advanced, might even replace the phones that we use today. Now, as we can see in the concept, the screen that is used is only displayed in the right lens, but doesn't rock a full color spectrum either. It is made up of a monochrome green screen to make sure for an optimist brightness. However, they are of course trying to achieve a full color spectrum on this. Now seeing all these companies trying to bring out their own AR spectacles almost seems like we're living in the future. But of course you can also ask yourself where the border for privacy is. Because with these glasses, it's very hard to notice someone making pictures or videos of anything they see. And it is also important to note that while the Facebook smart glasses can already be bought right now, the Xiaomi smart glasses are just a concept for the time being. And there's no exact release date or price for them yet. But if you enjoyed this week's of VR news, then make sure you show it by completely destroying that like button. And while you're at it, destroy that subscribe button as well. And if you like VR and AR news, then check out the videos you see on screen right now. And as always, I will see you next week.
That's so fucking cool. You can feel like fucking Tony Stark. That shit is so cool. I'm sorry, like I say, I'm a nerd. I saw this and I had to put this into the reaction list for you guys because so far you guys haven't given me much comments. Again, I know I've been tardy a lot the past couple months. Mainly just because I've been so beaten down and worn down from work, from inventory, from all the other bull crap I've been going through, and all other crap like that. So, I mean, I apologize for that profusely. Trying to set up more streams type of stuff, trying to come up with more ideas for stuff that I want to try and draw, and, you know, practicing some of that. I do have another idea of some other stuff, especially like with this mask here. I want to try and do some stuff. I've got so many irons in the fire, you guys. I do apologize. And on top of that, I'm not getting any younger. I have 2 kids I got to look out for, and they are both in the rebellious stage. I've got a rebellious little 5-year-old who thinks he knows everything and he's completely addicted to Minecraft. I've got a freaking 2-year-old that is completely in her terrible 2s and she's about to turn 3. So, you know, I'm trying to do a lot of things. I've got a lot of stress building and stuff like that. And on top of that, I do feel a little bit of burnout, stuff like that. So I'm cranking out all these videos, trying to constantly do it. And I try not to do that. I try to think about my own mental health. I mean, I like to make videos for you guys. I have fun doing this kind of stuff, especially stuff like this. I mean, at first I didn't really care much for doing reaction time, but look at this. We're on 41 reaction times. That is, again, 7 videos a week of nothing but reaction videos. And then on top of that, I try and do gaming stuff. My brother wants me to do some more gaming stuff with him. My cousin wants to come over eventually. I don't know if he'll ever actually be able to make it over, but I want to try and shoot some videos with my cousin. I've got so many irons in the fire, you guys. So, I mean, I understand. I'm a little lacking. I did notice that I lost some subscribers. I lost watch hours. And that's all fine and dandy. But I do want to make this a job. I do want to make this my full-time job to make life better for my family and give my kids an opportunity at something other than a 9-to-5 job in the future. But that is all here and there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, feel free to hit the thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscription button, notification bell to be informed every time I upload a stream. I am thinking heavily on the Patreon idea of being able to put stuff like that out there. So if you guys want to do that and come support me on that, it'll be in the description below when that does come out, if I decide to do it. So, all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Hey, and peace. What's up?